All right, let's take a look at another game going on Sunday. This is an NFC East battle between the Giants and the Eagles. Eagles 3-point home favorite. 51 is the total. It's really a fascinating what's going on with the NFC East. You got the Eagles and Cowboys both 4-1 in first place, and the surging Giants just 3-2 right behind them. The second straight home game for the Eagles. They got the bye week on deck, and the road team actually won both of these meetings the last year. The Eagles won 36-21 in New York, and then the Giants won here 15-7. That's part of a trend. The underdog is 14-4-1 ATS when these teams meet. You know, the Giants, they had a lackluster preseason, starting 0-2 in the regular season as they had some offensive line changes, plus the new offensive coordinator. But boy, since then, this team has been smoking. The overall offensive stats aren't that impressive. However, the 3-0 run the last 3 games is they just beat up the Falcons 30-20. The last game, they were 9 of 15 on third down. So however, this New York Giants team is kind of a team that nobody really wants to face right now.
Well, I wouldn't want to, and, history shows that out. They start off slow. This year they got 0-2 start, and I was ready to, put the sell on them. I thought they really stunk it up. Last year, 0-6. That's why kind of got me screwed up in the head with that start last year and this year. But, by October, they're ready to play. The experiments are over. That offensive coordinator's got things set. Offensive line really, really looks good. Last 34 games in October, it could be a trend that this is how they set up their whole season. Last 34 games in October, 24-9-1. Rashard Jennings, he's, running through the offensive line. Victor Cruz is doing his thing as he always does. I think Eli is cut down on a lot of bad throws and stuff. I'm going to be taking the underdog. One other things with Philly. I'm not going to say a lot about their offense. I like their offense. I like Foles and all that. But their problem so far is their defense. They got the most balanced, horrible defense around. They're 26 against the pass and 26 against the run. In fact, just the other day, defense almost blew a 34-7 lead to the Rams. Whether it's a fluke or not, these things are happening, and it shouldn't be happening to a good team. Also, I think that laying the ball down on the 1-yard line against San Francisco 2 weeks ago, that still might be having an effect. And this close thing last week, now they're into a division race against the Giants. The Giants are coming on strong. Let's go like John said about taking the underdog in this NFC East game and go with the plus 3 points in New York Giants.
Well, the Giants are really sizzling in October the last few years, 24-9-1 against the spread. The Eagles are 3-0 at home, but they're not covering numbers, 1-2 against the spread, and they have been a bad home team, 8-22-1 against the spread at home the last 31 home games. And the defense is a problem for Philly, 29th against the pass, 24th against the run. So, Zach, what would you rather have in the NFC East? Would you rather have great offense or great defense?
Great offense, because I think that they might have the most explosive offenses in the NFL coming out of that division. Giants, I think we're seeing a little bit of a media reversal here. You see the love-hate with the media with certain teams, and this is one of them. We just saw it happen with the New England Patriots. The media was all over them. People started buying that. Bengals point spread, it went up. This week, the Giants, all of a sudden, 3 weeks ago, with their 4 games in the preseason and a couple games in the regular season, the media was downing him. Tom Coughlin, 67 years old, needs to go. Hired a new guy on the offense, offensive coordinator. He just handed over the job to him. He has full control over it. That guy is taking too long to make the implementations to have success. Eli Manning is getting hit, making too many mistakes. And 2 weeks later, 2.5 games later, the Giants are all of a sudden boosted back up. They're playing great football, don't get me wrong, but this is a young season. We're only 5 games in, and this is a divisional matchup. You touched on the second game last year was 15-7. I think that might have been Nick Foles' first action as a quarterback. We'd have to look up the stats on that, but I think Mike Vick was out. It might have been the game he hurt his hamstring. But at any rate, I do see the Giants offense taking a step back here against the Eagles. And the Eagles, they're just getting so many points from special teams and defensive pick sixes. It's boosting up their offensive output or total point totals, I should say. But Nick Foles, he's struggling. That's bottom line right now. So if you're going to make a play on this one, I think you take the under. Nick Foles is struggling, doesn't have Deshaun Jackson, still targeting a new tight end without Selleck in there. And his receiver, Jeremy Maclin, coming back from his knee injury, doesn't look like he has the same explosion that we become accustomed to seeing from him. They tried a couple go routes with him against the Rams. It didn't work out. And basically that leaves Riley Cooper, who maybe be a third wide receiver on most teams, but I don't think a second receiver. So we're seeing problems with this explosive offense. And lastly, with the Eagles offense, LaShawn McCoy, I don't know what's happened to him, but he's caught in a little bit of a bug. I saw him dancing around in the backfield last week, made a ridiculous fumble dancing around, tried to run backwards 8 yards, and right before he went down, fumbled the ball. Miscues are going to come back to haunt this team. I think there's going to be some more turnovers, as I touched on with the Cowboys and Seahawks. Four turnovers. Take the under on a high number.
Okay, when you look at the total that the bettors put up, they're expecting a high-scoring game of 51, and I can see that with the Giants scoring 30 points and 397 yards last week, especially against this weak Philly defense. On the other hand, Zach mentioned that game last year, 15-7, and in fact, the last 4 meetings in Philadelphia between these teams, 4-0 under the total. So I will stay away from the total. Instead, look at the red hot dog here. The Giants just playing so well. They got the better defense. They're 6-2-1 against the spread in Philadelphia, and the dog 14-4-1 ATS. So I will lean toward the underdog in this one.